Hey you guys, so we're going to be starting these campers this week. This week you're going to paint your background, and then next time you come to art, we're going to make our campers and our fires, and you're going to have stars to put in your background as well, okay? So you're going to get a paper that looks like this. It has a circle, that's for your moon, and then it has a line right here, that's our horizon line. So that's going to separate your sky from your ground. We really need to get going quickly today, so I'm going to get right into it, okay? So what we're gonna do first, you're gonna have a plate with white, light blue, medium blue, another kind of medium blue, and dark blue. So we're gonna start right here in the middle with our paintbrush, and we're gonna paint the circle white. Okay, then once you're done with that, you're gonna come to your next blue. We're going lightest to darkest, okay? And you're gonna take this, and you're gonna do a circle around that. Now, I did my circle at first so it doesn't really touch. And then I'm gonna bring it back and very carefully make it touch the moon. If it ends up not being a perfect circle, that's okay. It's okay if you get a little blue into your white, as long as it's lighter than what's around it. Okay, if you look at this one, it's not a perfect circle either. I got some blue into it, that's okay, okay? Then you're gonna go to your next blue. I'm not rinsing my brush in between. And you're gonna do another circle. This is creating the illusion that the moon is shining because what is close to it is light and bright, and things that are farther away are gonna get darker. Okay, then you're gonna go to the next blue and do one more circle. And then at this point, you're going to go to the darkest blue and you're gonna fill everything else in dark blue. Okay, now I'm gonna keep going with this kind of circular brush stroke so that it matches. You don't wanna go from having all of these circles to having this, right? It's not gonna look right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna be going in a circular motion, and it's okay if you get into the ground a little bit, okay? And I'm just gonna fill the rest of this in with this dark blue, okay? You guys do yours while I do mine. Okay, so now you're gonna wash, and then you wanna dry your paintbrush really good. And we're gonna paint the ground brown, like dirt. Since we're gonna have trees in our background, we want the ground to be dirt. Plus a lot of campsites, they don't have as much grass, okay? So there's gonna be a light brown and a dark brown. You wanna paint everything this light brown. Now my blue is not dry, that's okay. It might mix a little bit with my brown. That's okay for right now, because we're gonna put some trees right in here anyway. So it's not gonna hurt anything. So you're gonna paint your whole bottom of your page light brown. once you're done with that, I want you to take some of this dark brown and you're just gonna come through and do like some sections like this, like some streaks. This is just gonna give us some different values and make it more interesting. Ground is not usually like all one solid brown. There's different values and things. So we're just going through to give it some visual interest and make it look good, okay? After you're done with that, I want you to take your paper and go blow dry it. You're gonna blow dry it because we need to add trees to this today, and if we do it and it's wet, it will be green, like the blue will show through and mix with the green, and the brown will mix with the green, okay? So y'all go, after you're done with your brown, blow dry it. Get it pretty dry. It doesn't have to be 100% dry, but try to get it pretty dry, okay? And then come sit back down and we'll show you what to do next. Okay, you guys, so now that your background is done and it's dry, mine's not totally dry, but it's close, okay? We're gonna paint some trees. Now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 trees over here and 1, 2, 3, 4 trees over here. It's very even. You don't have to do it that way. You could do 3 trees and 3. You could do 2 and 3. You have to have more than just like 1 and 1, right? Because we're out in the woods, we're camping, we're not just gonna have 1 tree, okay? So you have to do several trees, all right? So let me show you how to paint a tree. Okay, so you're gonna get some greens that look like this. These two are basically the same, so you might only get like a plate with some 4 greens, okay? And what you're gonna do is, let me start with this dark green. The way you paint a tree is you draw a straight line down, okay? Don't make it go all the way out of the paper because we have our fire and our camper to put up here, okay? So you're gonna draw a straight line down and it's come onto the ground, across the horizon line and onto the ground, but it's not gonna go out of the page, okay? And then I'm gonna use that same green in my paintbrush and I'm gonna paint little lines all the way down. They're gonna be short at the top and then they're gonna get longer as they go down. Now this one's really dark and the sky right there is really dark, right? Can you see that? So if for some reason you get it, you can see mine is not dry. You see that? The brown is mixing with the green, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Okay, so if it's really dark and you don't love that, you can take a lighter green, like this kind of yellowy green, and blend them, or you could even use some white. I forgot to put white on your plates. And you can make it lighter, okay? Okay, there, I added white, sorry. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this white and I'm gonna mix it with this green. And you can do that anyway. That gives you different values in the same tree. And different textures. Okay, so there's one tree. So now I'm gonna come over here and I might change paint. I might do this color green, okay? So I'm gonna draw another straight line. Maybe this one's gonna be taller, but it's gonna stop back further. And it's okay if they overlap or run into each other. So this one, see how I'm stopping it kind of when it hits this tree? So you're doing lines down each side and then they just get a little wider at the bottom. And then if you want to, you can take a little white and you can add some white to it. Gives you different values and different textures. These are meant to be kind of messy, okay? They're not meant to be perfect. So I've got 2 trees here. I'm gonna do a couple more here and then you'll come over here and you'll do the same thing. Remember, we're leaving the bottom part brown and you can leave the middle, but you don't have to, okay? So we're leaving this bottom part brown so that next week we can put our camper and our fire in there. Now, if you wanted to do a tree that went all the way out of the paper, me show you one more thing. Let's say I'm gonna use this green, okay? You could do it on the edges. So you could have a really big tree over here. But if it's going all the way out of the picture, it needs to overlap the stuff behind it, right? Okay, so that's what that would look like if you want one to be down. So you're gonna be painting trees for the rest of your time, and when you're done, let Miss Caitlin get a picture, and we're gonna put these in the drying rack. You don't have to blow dry it again. We're not blow drying again. We're just gonna put it in the drying rack and let it dry on its own, okay? Okay. All right, give me just a second. I'm gonna paint my trees and then I'll show you what it looks like, and then you guys can see how many you may want. Okay, so here are my trees. As you can see, I did a lot more trees on this one than I did on this one. So I would say as long as you have like 3 and 3, you should be good. All right, but I did some that look like they're up close. I did 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I did some right here along the horizon line, okay? Which is okay. But notice how they stop at that line right there. So they look like they're further away and they're smaller, okay? So you may not have time to do this many trees. You're just gonna do as many as you can, and then, or as many as you want to, and then you can be done. And next week when we come back and get your picture, and next week when we come back, we're gonna do a collage for our campers and campfire and those kinds of things. All right, can't wait to see you next week. These are gonna be so cool.